Welcome to the district finals. Some teams were crowned champions. Other teams had their season in tonight, and they learned a hard lesson. Thank you very much. But don't worry, because we're going to bring all the highlights to you coming up on 13 on Your Sidelines.
13 on Your Sidelines, sponsored by Rant Insurance Group.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to 13 on Your Sidelines. I'm Jamal Spencer.
And I'm Mark Skoll Jr. We're starting tonight with some marquee matchups, but first we have some guests in studio to introduce.
Please welcome the cheerleaders from Granville High School. And the cheerleaders from Grand Rapids Catholic Central.
Now, the rivalry between Muskegon and Mona Shores has only ever seen one playoff game. It was back in 2015.
Now, that year, Mona Shores won the regular season matchup, but the Big Reds got their revenge in the district championship. Tonight's 13 on Your Sidelines game of the week would also determine who takes home the district title. Back in week 4, the Big Reds scored 21 unanswered in the second half to beat the Sailors. Muskegon would come out firing. Senior running back Jacob Price breaks this one to the outside. He's going to run it in from 27 yards out. That gives the Big Reds the early 7-0 lead. But the Sailors say, hey, we can run the ball too. Hayden Terpstra peels to the outside, books it down the field. That's a huge gain before being taken down around the 27-yard line. That would ultimately lead to this play in the red zone. Andrew Baker taking the hit, still making it into the end zone. That makes it 7-7. Sailors fans liking what they're seeing at Hackley Stadium. Second quarter, still tied. Makai Guy decides, you know what, he's gonna do it himself. Slips a tackle, somehow avoids the trip, stays on his feet. You know what, keeps his pants up too somehow, and he's gonna be down at the 3-yard line. Just a few plays later, the fly guy bounces off a few players, falls in for the touchdown to make it 14-7. Wow. Second half now, Sailors come out well. Terpstra, again, tearing down the field, taking it to Muskegon's 14-yard line before the Big Reds take him down. Very next play, the Sailors taking flight. Jonathan Pittman airs it out to find Micah Kerfeld. Brings it in for the touchdown. Unfortunately for Mona Shores, the good times don't last. Late in the fourth quarter, Price gets the ball again. Going to run it down the field again, getting to midfield and getting into the end zone. Muskegon wins 42-28. After the game, we caught up with head coach Shane Fairfield. Talked to him about how the team's been keeping focus and dealing with something so familiar.
You know, this is familiar territory for us, and our guys understand that they can enjoy this, but this is never really the trophy we want. Unfortunately, this is a trophy that you get in the pursuit of the state championship trophy. So you got to stay lucky, you got to stay humble, you got to stay hungry, got to stay healthy. But the kids know what's at stake, you know, and now they know they get to play another week together, and there'll be another trophy game next week.
They'll go on to they'll go on to the regionals to face the winner of Midland Dow against Saginaw Heritage. Heritage won by a final score of 35-13. You know, last year when the team fell in the state finals at Ford Field, they said, we'll be back to Ford Field. Got a lot of work to do to get there, but tonight's a great start.
Yeah, 11 district titles in the last 12 seasons now for Muskegon. Really dominant effort again against their rivals just a few miles down the road. Great to see them show out again, but sorry to see Mona Shores' season end up phenomenal year. 6-3, only had 34 guys come out to the team this year. So to make it this far to the district championship, that really speaks highly on the Sailors.
Great year for the Sailors, big win for the Big Reds. Also in Division II tonight, Byron Center traveled to Caledonia. These two Southern Kent County teams have faced off dozens of times over the years.
But their last two matchups have been two of the most consequential. The Scots beat the Dogs in the 2021 playoffs en route to a district title, and tonight these two teams would square off with hardware on the line. Early third quarter, Scots lead 21-13 when the Bulldogs D makes a huge play. Bowden Hurley forces a Scott fumble, and Jackson Zylstra picks it up and takes it to the 5-yard line. A few plays later, Byron Center makes it a 2-point game on Landon Tungate's short touchdown run. Next Bulldog possession. Tungate shows off his arm as he puts the biscuit in the basket to Blake Otto for an 80-yard score and a 25-21 lead after 3 quarters. Early fourth quarter, the Scots face fourth down. Brody Bester finds Brock Townsend alone in the end zone. Caledonia retakes the lead 28-25. Nice play by the CMU commit. Same score in the final minute. Bulldogs need 87 yards to win. The drive starts out fast as Tungate buys time, finds Isaac Lee for a first down as he gets out of bounds. Same score, 3 seconds left. Tungate finds Lee in the end zone for a touchdown with zeros on the clock. Byron Center wins 31-28. They'll go on to face the winner of a matchup between East Lansing and White Lake Lakeland. East Lansing won that one 35-7. What an unbelievable game for Byron Center. You thought Caledonia, going to the state championship last year, they would be on their way back to Ford Field, but the Bulldogs really showed out today.
Experience only takes you so far, and nothing's a gimme in the playoffs. Credit to Mark Sisko's team. They have been so tough this year. And you mentioned Tungate, who has made play after play when his team needed him most. He's got ice in his veins with this game-winning drive here to keep the chains moving, keep his team on the field. Byron Center doing exactly what they need to. And that touchdown pass, that's clutch. That's as good as it gets.
Oh, that's awesome. 87 yards in 57 seconds. What a moment.
Great finish.
Bulldogs.
Great finish.
In Division I, Rockford beat Granville 34-13 in our 13 on your sidelines game of the week about a month ago. The Rams would move on to win the OK Red title outright and finish the regular season undefeated.
Tonight, Granville has a chance for revenge in the latest chapter of one of West Michigan's oldest rivalries. The Rams came into this one with 5 straight wins against the Bulldogs and led 21-14 at the half. First drive of the third quarter, Ryan Ahern gets the carry, breaks a tackle, spins in from 15 yards out. Rockford setting the tone for the second half. That made it 28-14. Granville might be down, but they're never all the way out. Ensuing possession, it's Tank Terry taking the handoff, flying around the right edge, turns on the turbo boosters. 47-yard score, his third touchdown of the game. It was 28-21. He ran for 157 yards tonight. Next Rams possession, this week's episode of Man, I just love the way this kid runs. Ryan Ahern, not 1, 2 stiff arms, and then he takes it in. Number 6 has reservations for 6. After that beast mode run, he ran for 190 yards. 4 scores for him tonight, 35-21. Under 2 minutes left in the third, fourth down for Granville. Cash Ruff, flush from the pocket. Christian Harriman runs him down for the sack. Rams defense standing tall. They get the ball back. They move into the red zone. Drake Irwin fakes the handoff to Ahern, gives it to Camden Cruisinga instead, and the senior walks in for the touchdown. Rockford takes down their OK Red rivals for the second time this year as they win 49-28. They're going to face the winner of Grand Blanc versus Davidson. The Cardinals won that matchup 24-17. Now, this was a game that started out great for Granville. They were up 14-0 in the first quarter, but then the Rockford offensive line and defensive line kind of got to work and warm down.
Well, it stinks for Granville because they had such a great season, but Rockford, I think they might be the best team in the state this year. They haven't lost at all this season. They've dominated in every sense of the word this season, so it's a shame that Granville's season had to end going against a team like that, but Rockford, man, they are looking really tough like they have all season long.
Not what our guests from Granville wanted to hear, but obviously no shame losing to one of the best teams in Division I. Again, great season by the Bulldogs. Congrats to the Rams. They're moving on to the region finals.
13 on your sidelines MVP of the week, sponsored by Rant Insurance.
We've handed out every 13 on your sidelines MVP of the year award for this season. Now it's time to meet who's winning the big award.
We're talking about the 13 on your sidelines MVP of the year. And without further ado, here are the nominees. Jose Luis Andaverdi played a huge role in Hart making the playoffs for the first time ever. The running back they call Beast Mode ran for 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns this season.
Next up, it's Eli Boyce, the Holland Christian High School quarterback. He threw for 2,200 yards and ran for nearly 600 more. He also put up 33 total touchdowns on the season.
Heading up to Muskegon, where Reefs Puffer running back Brody Johnson had quite a season. He ran for 1,400 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns on the year.
Also in Muskegon County, we've been calling this guy's name for a few years now. Whitehall quarterback Kyle Stratton put together another monster season with 1,700 passing yards, nearly 800 rushing yards, and 39 total touchdowns.
Returning to Metro Grand Rapids, where Granville running back Jaden Terry has been a sophomore sensation. Tank has rushed for 1,700 yards. He caught 146 yards, has 25 touchdowns.
And we round out the list of 6 with South Christian receiver Jake Vermas. He's tallied 1,200 yards receiving this year to go along with 14 touchdowns.
Now, here's the deal. The MVP of the Year poll is going up right now at 13onyourside.com. You have until next Thursday at noon to vote. We hope to have your 13 on Your Sidelines MVP of the Year right here in the studio during the final 13 on Your Sidelines of the year next Friday.
Coming up next, we are moving to Division 4, where we have plenty of local teams left.
Absolutely. See if Forest Hills Eastern or South Christian would come out on top in a rematch of one of the most exciting games of the regular season.
And no one has beaten Whitehall this season. We'll find out if Big Rapids could be the first to take down the Vikings.